I'm making a quick video of something I built a few months ago, actually during lockdown, I think it was. I had this shop vac here, and I had mounted, or I had built this thin baffle. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but tien baffle or something. It's pretty much what a cyclone, or it works on the principle of the cyclones really, and so to separate my dust and chips and stuff from several machines. But as usual, it was connected to one tool at a time. It was a bit of a problem sometimes and messy, and often I realized I wouldn't connect it, so or connect it to a machine I was using, if I was using that machine very for a small amount of time, and obviously it led to a lot of dust all around the place. So I built several of these blast gates like this. So these are plastic blast gates, which I made. I made a mold out of aluminum one. I made a silicone mold, which is somewhere in the shop. I saw it the other day, but anyway, it's around here. And then these are kind of a resin ready that I make these blast gates from. I mean, blast gate off. And I use for the gate itself, I use some 2mm plexiglass stuff. And to open and close these several motors, 17 kilos, I think these ones are, but probably it would work with something not as strong as that. And so I made kind of a manifold for that. It's not a very nice manifold, really, when you think of it in terms of airflow, because the intakes are all on four sides and then it goes down like this. But I figured most of it is all light dust, like the bandsaw and the drill press and what is this machine connected to. Then I have one manual switch there that I can use to just have a vacuum just like that, or if I use a Festool tool. And then the biggest one is the router table, and it has obviously bigger chips, but it's a direct flow. That's the one that comes at the back, so it goes directly in, and I've had no issues whatsoever. Even with a manifold like this, I've had no issue of dust collecting, so it works like a bomb. And the principle, so it's all based on Arduino. So we have an Arduino Nano down there that have programmed to do all the logic. So we have, that's the relay here that will start the vacuum. That's a little transformer to get some, I think it was 5 volt or 10, 12 volt DC, I can't remember, whatever, to feed the Arduino. And then we have 1, 2, 3 current sensors there, these little red lights thingy. And these are plugged on these, or they monitor what's happening, on these plugs that I have all around here. I have 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 plugs that are monitored. And then I have one switch that I can just put on. So it opens, when I put that switch on, it opens the gate. Which one is it? This one here, I believe. And then it starts the vacuum, which is the light at this time. And it turned the vacuum off. And it closes the gate. And the reason for that is obviously, as vacuum stuff, there's still some airflow, so I just have something like a 5-second delay. So here is where the vacuum is plugged, and these 4 gates are where my machines are plugged. So I put this one, it's not a machine obviously, it's just to draw some current. It's plugged on this one plug here, which monitors that will trigger this gate here. So what happens is, when I start the thingy there, opens the gate, starts the vacuum, and when I turn the tool off, it will stop the vacuum, and then after a few seconds delay, close that gate. I've had no problem with any dust or anything collecting in there. I actually just checked now. I just took these screws out at the bottom. I put these here to protect the whole mechanism and the rest of it, because it's in the corner of my shop there and it gets knocks and also. Basically, the only thing that there's a bit of an ugly hat that comes on top here, and nothing shows. In there, it's quite simple. You need to have a separate power supply for your servo motors, and 1, 2, 3, 4 servos. And by the way, when you have such a thing like this, don't forget to get the ground of this power supply back to the Arduino as well. So have this common ground, otherwise you'll have all kinds of funny behaviors. Ask me how I know. Well, I knew it, but I actually initially forgot. I couldn't figure why. I had some really weird happening. So anyway, that's one of the systems. Here I have another one there that pretty much does the same. So you see that blast gate here, that's the aluminum blast gate that I used to make my silicone mold out of. And so pretty much the same here. I have an old, how do you call, that was a vacuum cleaner motor there that I mounted with the same kind of cyclone there, and it's plugged down here. This is the manifold for 4 valves. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 valves, and they are all monitored pretty much the same. This one works on a normal Arduino, but it works very much the same. And all the plugs are down here. So each machine is plugged, the plugs are monitored, and as soon as one starts, as soon as it senses the current draw on one of the machine, it starts the vacuum, opens the blast gate. So now I have very little dust around this unit here, which is, I have a belt sander, a scroll saw, this sander, and another sander. So obviously those create a lot of dust, and now I don't have, I used to have lots of dust in the shop because of that, and now not so much. Obviously you always have a little bit of overflow here and there, but it works a bomb. And I have another one here which works pretty much as a standalone, but for a chop saw I have in the workshop here. And same, it just monitors the draw on that box there, and then I can start it manually as well. Sorry for the noise. I was wondering if I turned it off. I didn't remove a delay on the switch, but it doesn't matter. And it collects the dust pretty well on this vessel. Obviously you always have a bit of overflow, but that probably is like several months of overflow. I mean, dust flying all around the place, so that's that. And somewhere around here I had made another box. This one here. Which is pretty much how it all works. Oh, I cut the plug off for some reason. And what it does is that I plug the tool here, the dust collector there, and all that system monitors the tool. And I had put even a little amp meter there so I can monitor how much current I draw. And I use this sometimes if I need to know how much current I'm drawing on a tool exactly. That's that, but obviously I haven't used it for a little while. And I will make another video of some system I built in the garage. It was pretty much at the same time. And that one in the garage is where I have my beam machines. I have a big bandsaw, the jointer and thicknesser, and the table saw. And this one there works with radio signal, so I didn't want to have any cables between any machine, so I'll explain now in another video I'm going to shoot.